So let's begin with watching this clip. So what I really want to go about is how Messi slides and brushes the ball. You see, as he comes to the ball, like he's either with his laces or with the outside of the foot. But a lot of times he often like swoops like this, and the ball kind of spins this way, so like that. And then he does another one here again. I don't know if it's the laces or outside of the foot, but it's generally the same motion, like this. Yeah, you see. He like touches, I think, with the laces and then kind of brushes towards the inside of this, and the ball spins this way. So you know it's very significant because I think naturally people do this to an extent. Maybe not when they touch, but sometimes they come like almost in an arc and see how the defender reacts. Because if you take it like a touch too mechanically, by that I mean like say you open your foot and then you go in a very straight line to hit it this way. It's very easy for the defender to read, position himself for how you touch it, so he can just immediately get to this place here. But since you're brushing it and curving it this way, at any point Messi can just turn his ankle out and really change the directions, or he cannot turn his ankle and just kind of brush it this way and go the other way. So when the defender has to jockey, he doesn't just look at one way where he can potentially go. It's kind of many ways, and he has to guess until it's a little too late, and here you can already plan the next move. So a lot of times Messi he can lead with another move, maybe put his foot out to this side, potentially do an inside cut, or do another brush. So naturally, since his foot's here, it can already go to the he can already do an outside cut to that side, or you again doing it, you can quickly shift and do an inside cut. But you see here, so at this point, he can go either way, but I think he can see how the defender reacts, and I guess he's anticipating doing an inside cut from that move, and then there he can do it. I think it's also important to point out that Messi often sometimes does a motion like he's going to spin the ball, but it really depends on the space and how the defender's positioned, because if you react early, you don't actually have to touch it. You can just go the opposite way you were going. So let's watch this clip. You see as Messi reaches for the ball, he doesn't actually touch the ball here. Well, maybe he does in that one, but you see here it's the same motion. He's gonna kind of spin the ball that way. And then again, it gives the same amount of flair, because he has potential to go in different directions, so the defender can't read it and potentially get a tackle in. Here, I think he touches it, and then see it's the kind of spin this way, so he brushes it this way, and the ball spins that way. Again, giving some good flair, so this defender can't just read and lunge in accurately. So I think it's a similar concept to the move I pointed out in this video here. So I'll play it first. So I mentioned in the video that I crisscross my dribbling foot this way, and kind of this is kind of geared for when the defender is showing you down the line, but it's the same concept as kind of brushing the ball. So in this case, the defender is well, either it's in a pickup game and they're not defending super hard against you, or they're being a lot more aggressive, trying to lunge in for the ball. So just crisscrossing without touching would work. But again, as I mentioned, it depends. If he's just jockeying and not really lunging, and maybe you might get in closer and then really kind of actually touch and brush the ball. And then similar concept as as the prior point. In this case, sometimes I wait for the defender to time and to lunge in, take the ball. So sometimes you might have the intention of brushing the ball, and touching it. But you know, if they go in early or you see the gap early, you don't have to. You can just, you know, instead of like, you know, touching it, in this case the outside of the foot and brushing it, you can just go in quickly and like do the inside cut. So here's a clip of me doing outside cuts and inside cut, but keeping spinning the ball in mind. So, you know, kind of touch with like, you know, the laces and like kind of graze the ball and brush it to give make it hard to read. And then, you know, sometimes, you know, like I might not touch it because, you know, it depends on the space I have. You know, sometimes, you know, if you know, I'm about to touch it, I see the defender backing off or maybe prepared to actually maybe anticipate a potential outside cut coming in rather than inside cut, which looks like I'm doing. I can just instead maybe do a crisscross or nutty, or just take a step and not do the brush at all. And then here we go here, and then I brush the ball again like this. You know, I can go, you know, this way, that way, that way. And then, yeah, again, it makes it hard to read. Now this could be related to the current topic, but in one of my earliest videos, I extensively talked about the feint Messi did against Boateng, so let's watch it again. So about this point here, like I mentioned, kind of how like Messi hopped onto the ball and then like, you know, hits it with the outside of the foot. See how it kind of turns out like this, and you see his foot was like fairly upright. I found when I tried to do it, like it was a lot more natural to kind of like almost slant my foot this way. It seemed very hard to actually kind of keep it upright like this. Now, I remember like for about 2 weeks, I told this story a couple times in some of my videos, but I think for a couple of weeks I tried to make it look exactly like this, especially this point here, trying to keep this foot upright. And at the time it seemed like I needed to put a lot more pressure on my pinky toe rather than like on like the middle or the balls of my feet. So just to keep it upright. And eventually I got it like almost down exactly. So you know, I was playing a pickup game, and you know, one of the guys I play with, he's quite good at defending, and and he knows the kind of moves I do. But this is different. This time I did this exact, like, you know, a lot of times I've done this kind of, tried to do this kind of Boateng feint move to him, and you know, either time he can tackle it or at least push me to the side and not let me go through. But since I did it this way, like, you know, I did the feint and like he went falling over the other way, even though it seemed fairly similar. So I was talking about brushing the ball, and you know, like it's either with the laces or with the outside of the foot. It's very, like, it's a lot more natural to like kind of brush it this way and have the ball kind of spinning that way. But I was thinking maybe about doing it the other way, like kind of brushing it this way. And it's kind of hard to tell because like in both cases, your ankle is essentially, you know, twisting out from here to there. When you think of like an elastical, you're either kind of like, you know, twisting your ankle out there and then going this way, or kind of like hitting from the opposite way and going that way. But you know, the starting point is relatively the same, and like, you know, you're turning in the same direction. So it really depends on kind of like the trajectory of your foot and where you hit the ball. So to see what I mean, I experiment with like trying to like spin the ball in both directions. So I'm going very slow here, but see my first two touches here, like I'm just doing the normal spin, and again, it's a lot easier. The ball sticks to your foot a lot longer, so you got a lot more control. So you see, you can kind of tell the ball's kind of rotating this way. And then I take my second touch here. You kind of see the kind of my foot's like coming out that way, and then kind of making the ball rotate this way. It's a lot harder to do it this way, and the ball doesn't stick to your foot as long. But since I'm doing it, kind of like almost positioning myself, my foot on the other side of the ball, it kind of gives the impression that I could go there and I also could go there. So, you know, when you do the feint or like even just an outside cut, it seems a lot more natural that I would go this way before I do an outside cut that way. Again, this is I was doing it very slow. I just wanted to experiment with the different spins, but yeah, it seemed like it was quite tricky to me, even though I was going slow. So I'll explore this a bit more and see about doing it with various combos.